Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for another devlog. It's Saturday at around 10:30 a.m. and this week we're starting things off a little bit differently. You can probably tell my surroundings are a little bit different from usual. Kate and I are actually traveling for a wedding this weekend and are staying up in this wonderful little cottage thing up in the mountains in Virginia. It's just beautiful up here. Kate's off getting her hair done for the wedding, so I took a little walk around and to my surprise I stumbled upon this really beautiful Luna moth. You guys know that's like my favorite character that I've made for Blink, so I figured that's a good omen, and this is just a great opportunity to relax, have some coffee, and make a little progress. The first thing I'm going to work on this morning is improving my scroll indicators that I made during the live stream last week. That's these two guys on the left-hand side here. They're meant to just show that you can scroll up and down here so you can see all 16 characters, but they look like buttons and they're not, and it's just not a great user experience, so I'm going to figure out a way to refactor that. So I went ahead and got rid of those scroll arrows on the left side of the screen, as you can see, and I implemented a suggestion from a fellow named Bruce who commented on my last devlog. He said he wasn't a huge fan of the scroll arrows and he thought a more elegant solution could be showing just a little bit of the third row of characters here to indicate to the player that they were more down there, and hopefully they'd be able to use their finger and figure out how to scroll down to them. I really like that suggestion. It doesn't add much to the UI at all, and was easy to implement, so pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with that solution and glad to have it knocked out. I think I'm going to take a break here, and after a little while I'll probably get back to work on the in-app purchases, which is kind of the last big thing we have to do before Blink is ready for beta. Catch up with you guys soon. It is Tuesday morning just after 6 o'clock. Kate and I had an awesome time at the wedding this weekend and we made it back in one piece, but the temperature in our apartment was like 90 degrees when we got back because our AC was broken. So since we got back, we've been staying with a friend, but everything's fixed now and it's comfortable, which is nice. It's just great to be home. Haven't made much progress since the wedding, just since I haven't been home, but now that we're back, it's time to make some progress on the code for in-app purchases. What's up guys, it's Wednesday afternoon now. Not much of an update, I just didn't have a chance to finish up writing all that in-app purchases code on Tuesday, so we're getting started again on Wednesday after work. Alright guys, it's just after 7 o'clock now and I made a lot of progress on the in-app purchases code. In fact, I think I've got all that stuff working, but I need to test it on physical devices. So I already know how to do that on iOS. I need to do a bunch of research for how to do that on Android and just make sure those in-app purchases are working well on both platforms. So once I get that stuff set up for Android and I have it on a device and I can test it, I will let you guys know and we'll catch up then. What's going on guys? It's Saturday around 12:30 in the afternoon. I've got some pretty cool progress to report since the last time I recorded. I've actually been working on creating the first ever builds of Blink for Android and iOS and working on getting them uploaded to their respective stores. And I've done that. I've got a build uploaded to the Google Play Store and a build uploaded to Apple's App Store Connect, which is under review right now for submission to beta testers. While that's all happening, I have a few ends to tie up in terms of, well, pretty much doing all of the setup on each of those stores with the metadata for the game, the screenshots, the videos, the images, and all that stuff. So while the app is under review, I'm going to take that time now to go ahead and work on some of that metadata, and I'll go ahead and let you guys join me for creating my app icon. I kind of have a few ideas of how I'm going to do it, but I'm just going to jump in and play around and see what I come up with. So I've come up with two options for our app icon. Curious to hear what you guys think. This is the first one, super simple. It's just the Firefly artwork for the first character that's unlocked, as well as just a green to blue gradient. These are part of the colors that I use for the rest of the color palette for Blink. Now I've got one more option, which I think I like a little bit better, and that is having the Meadow background, the first background that you have when you play the game, zoomed in and kind of blurred out a little bit behind the Firefly. This just gives a little more character to the icon. I'm hoping it won't look too busy. I think it still looks pretty nice when it's zoomed out. But I think I'm gonna go with this for now. Curious to hear what you guys think. Would love to hear some feedback on this. So I think the last thing I'll do for the devlog today is to get that icon imported into Unity and set up so that all builds for both platforms going forward are bundled with that icon. And after that, I have a couple bugs to fix that I found while playing Blink on my iPad and my phone over the past few days. And after that, we're just kind of waiting for Apple's approval to send this thing out to testers. Alright, it didn't take long at all to add the icon into Unity and get that all set up, and also to fix my small defect that I think shouldn't really affect either of the builds that I submitted to Apple or Google. Now I just have to wait for Apple to review the build that I submitted to them, hopefully approve it, and then send it off for my friends and family to play and actually get the game into people's hands for the first time. While I wait for Apple to make their decision, I have a ton of work to do on the store pages, both on Apple's side and Google's side, to enter all that metadata and images and videos and all that stuff. So that's what I'm going to be working on in the meantime. That said, it is my first Saturday home in what feels like a lot of weekends, so I think I'm just going to take the rest of the day off and relax. But I am determined to get Blink into beta by the end of this devlog, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Sunday morning. It's around 10:30 or so, and I have quite a bit of work to do for Blink today, but unfortunately none of it's very fun. My goal today is to get the privacy policy knocked out, as well as to populate the store pages on iOS and Android like I've been talking about. I'm probably just going to work on this sporadically throughout the day. I'm not particularly looking forward to it, but either way, at the end, I'll sync up with you guys and show you what kind of media I've come up with in terms of the screenshots and the videos and the description and all that stuff. So yeah, I'll catch up with y'all later. Alrighty guys, back with a quick update. It's about 1 o'clock now, and I've been working a little bit on my website. The first and most important thing I needed to do was get my privacy policy and terms and conditions uploaded here so I can link to them from the various store pages. Of course, I do have that set up now for Blink. You can view that on my website. It's not live yet, but it will be in a minute. But I wanted to show you guys how I did this. This is a really cool function of Gatsby, which is the framework that I used to build this site. If you look over here on the right-hand side at my project source, you'll see here inside my source folder, I have a folder for markdown pages. And I've got Gatsby configured such that whenever I drop a markdown file in here, at the top of the markdown file, I can include a little bit of metadata about how I want the link to that page to look. And Gatsby will auto-generate that page for me and let me link to it. So I didn't actually write any code to make this appear manually. It just kind of works. So it makes it super easy to just create the markdown for my privacy policy and throw it onto my website. Really cool feature of Gatsby. I've also made a few stylistic and navigation tweaks to the website. If you remember before, here on my nav bar, I used to just have an about page and a link to my YouTube page, but the link to the YouTube thing felt redundant and it took you away from the site, so having it in the nav bar felt kind of weird. Now I've got my same about page. I've switched up another piece of artwork here so that I have all the backgrounds from Blink actually on the website. And now I've got a contact page. This just has a mail to link for my contact email address, just in case anyone wants to get in touch. One last cool tidbit for any of you web developers out there. Because I'm developing this site with Gatsby and hosting it with Netlify, all I have to do is take the work today that I've done in develop and merge it to my master branch. Once I merge it to master, Netlify is set up to auto-publish that to the web, so I don't have to do any more work. Really cool. All right, but now that the website is done, it's time to go work on the store pages. Oh, that took a long time. It's 3:30 now, and I've finally gotten all the pictures and all the text and metadata done for both the Google Play Store and Apple App Store listings. So that's all taken care of. I basically had to take a bunch of screenshots in Unity for different device sizes for Apple, and then go in and make sure they were exactly the right amount of pixels to upload to the App Store. And thankfully I was able to reuse some of those for the Android store. So it's all done. That takes a long time. That is not a particularly fun job, as I'm sure some of you guys know. But the good news is, while I was going through that arduous process of creating all those screenshots, I got an email from Apple that my beta app was approved and ready for testing. So on both Android and iOS, I got together my small group of friends and family that I'm using to test, and I distributed beta versions of Blink. It's done. We're finally in beta. We're near the end. Thank you guys so much if you've stuck with me all the way through this devlog. I know it's not as exciting, not doing as much feature development or anything fun like that, but we're in the end game of releasing our first indie game, and that's just kind of how it goes. It's super exciting. Thank you guys so much for your support. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next devlog where maybe we'll be getting ready for a full release.